like things are getting a good start there, Jess. Thank you so much. For a closer look at the Republican National Convention, we're joined by Christy Setzer, president of New Heights Communications. She's worked on a few presidential campaigns for Democrats, including Al Gore and Howard Dean, and Sabrina Schaeffer, executive director of the Independent Women's Forum. She has also worked for lawmakers on the other side of the aisle, the more conservative side of the aisle, shall I say. Well, you know, ladies, the marquee event gets underway in just about a half hour from now, and everyone has been waiting for Mitt Romney's big speech to capstone the end of the convention. What does he need to do tonight? How does he need to accomplish this? Sabrina, let's start with you, and then Christy, can he do it?
Romney needs to make clear to Americans that elections are about choices, and there's two choices that American voters can make. One is to stay on the path we're on, in which the federal government is bloated and it's surging, or I think he's going to try to sway voters to think about the Romney-Ryan ticket, which would help to rein in that progressive state and restore government to its proper constitutional limits.
Christy, do you think he can accomplish it? I mean, this is the big spotlight. The big spotlight is on him tonight.
I think he needs to do a couple of things. I agree. I do think that he needs to lay out the vision for a Romney-Ryan ticket more than he has up to this point. But I also think that he needs to simply become more likable. This is his big moment where he's actually going to introduce himself to the American people. And right now, the greatest deficit that Mitt Romney has in front of him is the number of people who say that they actually like him. President Obama has something like a 20-point advantage when it comes to those issues. And the truth is that as polarized as we are as a nation on a great many issues, everything from gay marriage to immigration to foreign policy, what they really most want in their commander-in-chief and their president is someone that they actually appreciate and like and actually want to sit down with.
Do you think that this is being accomplished? Because, we heard from his wife, who basically laid out all the reasons why we should vote for him and what makes him a likable person. Is that message getting across?
I think that Ann Romney does serve an important role in sort of trying to break down that outer shell that so many people find hard to get through with Governor Romney. But I don't think that people are electing a friend. They're electing someone who has sound economic policies. And at a time when the national debt is swelling to nearly $16 trillion, when unemployment is at 8.3%, Congress hasn't passed the budget in nearly 3 years, I don't think they care if they're going to be the guy they go to the movies with. And I think that is what Paul Ryan tried to point out last night. He said, look, we're a generation apart. We listen to different music, but we have the same economic principles, the ones that can help restart this economic engine, and that's what American voters care about right now.
Christy, for our international audience, let me let you weigh in on the foreign policy issue. We really haven't heard that much about where they stand, talking about Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. There's a lot going on in the world right now.
Right. There is a lot going on. And what's interesting is that foreign policy is one area which Americans are not particularly ideological. They just want results. Again, as I said, we're polarized on a great many issues, but that's not one area where we are. And right now, President Obama gets a huge advantage on foreign policy as well, because he's been able to accomplish something that many Democrats before him have not, which is he's been able to erase the traditional Republican advantage on national security. That's because people believe that he's been getting stuff done, everything from the killing of Osama bin Laden to bring our troops home from Iraq and a plan for Afghanistan. So there absolutely is a lot going on right now in the world, and they believe that President Obama is the person to get it done.
Yeah, I think that we do need to take more time focusing on foreign affairs. Right now, I think a lot of people don't realize that we just hit the 2,000 mark in terms of deaths in Afghanistan. This was hardly touched upon in the news here. But I think the one thing that gives me confidence in Governor Romney is the fact that I believe that he really understands that our economic security here at home is essentially and intricately connected to our national security here and abroad. And if we can demonstrate through sound fiscal policy, through good energy reforms, through greater educational freedom, immigration reform, all of these things are so essential to us then becoming an economic leader and leading by demonstration to the rest of the world.
Okay, Sabrina Schaeffer, Christy Setzer, thank you both for joining us. We'll have you back on. We'll have to see what Mr. Romney says tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.